Gaza lies in ruins, and its reconstruction is now being used as leverage in negotiations over who disarms first, who withdraws first, and who controls what comes next. US envoy Jared Kushner has left the region without a breakthrough after 2 days of talks with Hamas and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. At the center of the dispute is a 15-point US-backed roadmap announced by Donald Trump last month. The plan calls for Hamas to surrender its weapons in phases as Israeli forces gradually withdraw from Gaza. Hamas accepted the roadmap but says implementation depends on Israel halting its attacks and meeting its withdrawal commitments. Netanyahu rejected that sequence earlier this month. He says Israeli forces will remain in Gaza until Hamas is completely disarmed.
ישראל שוללת את מסמך 15 הנקודות. שמעתי שאומרים לא אמרתם. אמרנו, אבל הנה אני אומר עוד פעם. ישראל שוללת את מסמך 15 הנקודות. צה"ל לא יבצע נסיגה כלשהי עד פירוק החמאס מנשקו. וכשאני אומר פירוק החמאס מנשקו, זה אומר הנשק הכבד, הנשק הפחות כבד, והנשק הקל, כל הנשק, ואנחנו מדברים על פירוק אמיתי, לא פירוק פיקטיבי. עכשיו אנחנו מדברים עם האמריקנים על הנושא הזה. יש להם רעיונות, חלק מהם מקובלים עלינו, וחלק לא מקובלים עלינו.
Kushner's latest comments suggest Washington is leaning towards Israel's position. He told Fox News that reconstruction would remain frozen until Gaza is demilitarized. Under this demand, Hamas would have to surrender every light and heavy weapon, stop rebuilding its military capacity, and fill in its tunnels.
We're very committed to the fact that we have a plan to rebuild Gaza, but we will not allow Gaza to be rebuilt until the demilitarization occurs. Nobody wants to put more money into a place that's gone on for so long until if it's just going to be taken over by terrorists or blown up again. We're also not going to restrict Israel's right to defend itself if there are any imminent threats, and so we had to clarify what that means. We could be seeing progress, as much as in as little as 30 days, hopefully on starting to take some of the weapons out, and hopefully filling in some of the tunnels as well in the next 60 to 90 days as well. So progress could come quite soon, but we do need cooperation from both sides, and we're going to hopefully get through. But we've made a lot of progress to get here. For Israel, we think this is a win-win situation because if Hamas actually gives over the weapons and the tunnels, willingly over the next 60 to 90 days, that obviously would be the elimination of a huge security threat for Israel, almost an unthinkable achievement. And if they don't follow through now on their commitment, everyone will see that they're not genuine about peace, and then Israel will have a lot more support from the US and others to go and finish the job in the appropriate way.
Kushner said the process could begin within 30 days, with some tunnels potentially closed within 60 to 90 days. But Hamas wants Israel to take corresponding steps at the same time. Israel continues to carry out airstrikes and seize territory despite the ceasefire that began in October. More than 1,200 Palestinians and 4 Israeli soldiers have been killed since it took effect, according to Palestinian health officials and the Israeli military. Trump called on Israel to stop its attacks on Monday, saying Hamas had agreed to lay down its weapons. Yet, Kushner also said Washington would preserve Israel's right to act against what it considers imminent threats. The scope of that right remains undefined. Israel says its military will continue operating wherever it considers necessary, including against Palestinians accused of involvement in the October 7 attacks. That leaves the roadmap trapped in a dispute over sequencing and enforcement. Hamas is being asked to disarm before the reconstruction begins. Israel refuses to withdraw before that disarmament is complete, and Israeli military operations could continue under broadly defined right of self-defense. Kushner also warned that if Hamas failed to fulfill its commitment, Israel could receive greater US and international support to finish the job.
And if they don't follow through now on their commitment, everyone will see that they're not genuine about peace, and then Israel will have a lot more support from the US and others to go and finish the job in the appropriate way.
The United States has provided Israel with about $25 billion in military assistance over the past 3 years and has repeatedly defended it at the international forums. Palestinians factions meeting in Cairo have accused Israel of blocking the agreement, rejecting the roadmap, failing to fulfill commitments from its first phase, and continuing daily attacks. They say reconstruction and recovery must be accelerated while Palestinians pursue political unity, self-determination, and an independent state with occupied East Jerusalem as its capital. 8 countries, including Turkey, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Pakistan, Indonesia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates have also issued a joint statement blaming Israel for obstructing peace efforts. The political deadlock carries immediate consequences for Gaza's population. More than 73,000 Palestinians have been killed since October 2023. According to Gaza's health ministry, around 90% of the territory's infrastructure has been damaged, leaving homes, hospitals, schools, water systems, and roads in need of reconstruction. Yet, rebuilding remains tied to an agreement whose central steps are disputed. The US says Hamas must disarm. Hamas says Israel must withdraw and stop attacking Gaza. Netanyahu insists Israeli forces will stay and retain the freedom to conduct military operations.
אני עומד איתן על האינטרסים הביטחוניים שלנו. אנחנו לא נסוגים מהקווים הנוכחיים שלנו עד שהחמאס יפורק לגמרי מנשקו. 1. 2. אנחנו מנחים את חיילי צה"ל לעשות כל מה שצריך כדי להגן על עצמם, להגן על שטחנו, להגן על אזרחינו. 3. הנשיא טראמפ חושב, וצוותו חושבים, שהם יכולים להביא את החמאס להתפרק מנשקו ולפרז את עזה. אנחנו בודקים את זה. הם שלחו לנו טיוטה, לא הסכמנו, זו לא טיוטה שלנו, שלחנו את ההערות שלנו. אגב, שלחנו את ההערות שלנו לפני שקיבלנו מסע תקשורתי בעניין. זו העמדה שלנו. אנחנו עומדים איתן על האינטרסים שלנו, אני חושב שגם בתבונה וגם בתקיפות.
Those positions will determine far more than the future of the ceasefire. They will shape who governs Gaza, whether displaced Palestinians can return home, when reconstruction can begin, and whether the territory remains under continuing Israeli military control. For Gaza's population, the weight is measured in destroyed homes, closed hospitals, and another day without a clear path forward. For more such explainers, subscribe to DawnNews English.